and welcome to another episode of the Skin and Soul Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Fouts, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about ethical and non-ethical service providers, why it's important to go to a service provider that is licensed through the state, and why some consumers may look for cheaper options, but what you're really getting when you are getting someone who's offering a really, really low and suspicious price tag. Okay, so obviously we all know there are people out here who don't give a crap and that offer services when they're not licensed. And we have consumers that don't mind because they're paying a really, really low price. So those consumers probably don't care much about quality. But here's the thing, when you're not licensed, you're not professionally taught, you don't know protocols, you don't know sanitation protocols, you don't know the proper way to do things, and the state hasn't granted you the licensure to be able to do that, you are putting people at really high risk and yourself at risk by doing these services and things, because if something does happen, you don't have insurance to fall back on, you don't have a license, you're going to be screwed. But some people, consumers, really don't think about all that. I don't think they really are aware of the risk. So for example, eyelash extensions, if you get adhesive in someone's eye, it could potentially blind them. Infection is a big thing. You're working around the eyes. It's a really delicate area, and so we have to be very mindful and know the proper sanitation protocols and the proper way to disinfect, the proper way to handle our tweezers around the eye and everything like that. So if you're going to someone who isn't licensed, that risk just went up a lot. And I have to tell you, I see people all the time. I ask them if they've gotten eyelash extensions before, and they'll say, yeah, I've gotten them a couple times before, and it only took them 30 minutes. Red flag number one, a full set or even a fill cannot take you 30 minutes. If it's taking someone that small amount of time, they're just slapping shit on your eyelash line, and all of your eyelashes are going to be glued together, literally, and it's going to result in a loss of eyelash, potentially infection. That's really bad. And I'm so baffled when I hear people say that, but that isn't a one-time thing. I hear people say that all the time. And there's actually something that really also made me want to record this episode and speak on the importance of being licensed, and especially for consumers. Going to see someone who is licensed is because of the big risk factor that it holds. But there is someone in the city that I'm in that has a business, and so in the state of Colorado, anyone that's licensed can be an educator. So say if I wanted to do wax classes and teach other people how to wax, I could do that, and I could give them a little certificate of completion for my course, but it's not like state recognized. But I do have to be licensed to do that. But there's this person in town that has a business and does eyelash extensions, and also is passing herself off as an educator and offering courses to people. And she's literally not even licensed. And she actually changed her business name recently, and I believe that she did it because she was reported to state board by the person who taught her. So she went to a certification course by someone, and then they saw that she was passing herself off as a business and performing these services and charging people as paying customers and offering this course. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand why go through all of the trouble of making yourself seem legit when you're really even not, and then have to change your business name because you get reported to state board. But whatever. It's just laughable to me, but also it's just, I don't understand. Just go to school, do the thing. If this is what you love to do and this is what you want to do, get licensed for it. But I know there's a lot of people out here that don't care. They literally don't care about people's health. I guarantee you, if you did not go to school and get licensed, you don't know that you have to change your barbicide daily. You don't know that you're supposed to put your tweezers in the barbicide for at least 10 minutes and then let them air dry or put them in an autoclave afterwards. People are probably just out here doing lashes, not even sanitizing or disinfecting their tools and equipment. And that's how people get infections and literally lose their eyesight. Or there was a story that went viral on TikTok like last year. And I don't know if this woman was licensed or not, but she wasn't taking measures to make sure that her clients were safe and that everything was being operated the way it should be to reduce risk. So this woman had gone to this person's lash business in her home, and the lady, the service provider's chihuahua jumped up on this woman while she was laying down and getting her eyelashes done and bit her eyelid off. Literally. You can Google it. You can find it on TikTok. This lady got her eyelid ripped off by this woman's chihuahua. Okay, you shouldn't have a pet in your treatment room. First of all, I'm pretty sure that's like against state laws, but especially if they're not well mannered and they're going to be ripping people's eyelids off. Like, unless I went in and saw a very docile, I don't know, I probably wouldn't even be comfortable going into a lash studio and there being any kind of animal in there. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things that can be really high risk factors that people don't even think about or don't consider. So it is really important to go to a licensed professional and be licensed if you are going to provide services on people. There's a difference in like learning your craft. In that case, you just get volunteers. It wouldn't be like a profitable thing. But, you know, one side of it is consumers want to spend as least money as they can. And you can preach something to people all day long, but if they don't get it, they don't get it. If they don't care, they don't care. So if you want to take that risk of getting an eye infection, more power to you. Do that. Get your $40 lash extensions and take that chance. You know, my prices are the prices that they are because I am a licensed professional. I have invested in myself. I've invested in my business. I offer quality and luxury experiences in terms of my atmosphere, the quality of all of my products and my equipment, my tools. And so my prices are set as they should be. And if someone wants to complain about it, then they can go to someone who offers a lesser quality than I do. And that's okay. I actually have a lash client that she got an eyebrow wax from me, and my eyebrow waxes are $20. It's pretty standard. There are some places that might charge slightly less than that, but that's because it's like a quick thing. It's not really an experience. There's nothing high quality about it. And that's fine. If you want a $15, $10 eyebrow wax, then that's fine. I don't care if that's what you want to do. But I did have someone, after I waxed them and told them the price, they were like, oh my gosh, $20? I'm not going to do that again. Other places charge $15. And I personally actually didn't take offense to it. I'm like, yeah, that's my price. You know, that's what my eyebrow wax is worth. But I understand if you want to pay a little less, you know, you could go to the nail shop or something, or wherever else charges less. Like, I understand. But I charge what I charge, and for a good reason. So I guess this is kind of targeted towards consumers. If you guys are looking to get a professional service done by someone, I highly, highly recommend looking them up on Google or Facebook or Instagram, really making sure you can see their work and it has like their logo on the picture, or you can tell when there's stock images. And I've actually recently come across some places that have like just do stock images for promotional material, and to me it's pretty obvious, but just make sure there's a consistency in the photos. That's one way to tell. Angles, lighting, different things like that. But look at their reviews, look at their actual work. There was another post, I just thought of it, that also went viral in the aesthetics community. There's this woman out in Arkansas that was like offering lip injections and all these different things, and she's not even licensed to do that. And she gave this woman lip fillers who was an esthetician. I think she was an esthetician. I don't know. It might have just been shared in the esthetician community. But she gave this woman lip fillers and wasn't knowledgeable about the underlying anatomy and all that. So she, I believe, injected it into one of her like blood vessels or something like that. But anyways, her tissue was like dying and she had to go to the emergency room, and luckily like they saved her lip. But it's some scary stuff, people out here offering beauty services that don't know what they're doing, because it is $1 billion, if not even more, $1 billion industry. So everyone wants to look good. They want to invest in themselves. It's self-care is really big right now, and that's a way to treat yourself. And when you're spending your hard-earned money to treat yourself, you don't want to be screwed over. You want to have a good experience. So definitely look up, get recommendations from local people in your community, and make sure that you're going to someone who is licensed. And if you want to go the extra mile, you could always get them to send you a picture of their license. And if they have a problem with that, that's a red flag, because pretty much in every state, by law, you're supposed to display your license in your treatment area. So that's one surefire way to know that the person who is providing you services is licensed. So I hope you guys maybe learned something valuable from a different point of view on this topic. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I will see you next Monday, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for another episode.